Okay, these will be the movies that reflect on gang stalking as well as gaslighting and the whole pandemic issue that's going on now. If you have not seen these movies, I highly recommend you to check them out. The first one I have on the list here is The Grid. Also, I want to point out there's no copyright intended for any of these films. This is only just to spread out more awareness for educational purposes. So, for those who are not familiar with what gaslighting is, for people who are not familiar with what gang stalking is, and for people who are just now new to this whole experience of what is happening, of this corruption that has plagued the world itself, these will give you a better understanding. The Grid is the best one to watch, though, because both the Grid and the gaslighting, which we will see, I'll show you an image of that as well. There's Bug. As far as a lot of targeted individuals are concerned, some of you may have not seen this movie, but this highly shows everything from the highest detail of what these gang stalkers do. As you all are well aware who have experienced this, you all well aware that the perps do lace your food. You're all aware that they do lace materialistic items that if you may touch, whether it's items in your home, whether it's their doorknob, whether it's anything else. This will show you and give you a clear description as to how that is. You need to watch it to the end, but I warn you, this is graphic and it's not holding its punches at all. The next one here, as you know, as I stated before, Gaslight. In this film, apparently the husband fixates the situations, scenarios to where it makes the wife questions her reality to where she's not aware of what's really happening and what is really going on. And then when she starts to understand what actually is going on, she starts to question it. But at the same time, the husband's behind the scenes making it seem like, well, it's not really happening and it's just all in her head. Some of you may have already seen this, some of you may not. That's not really I don't think I gave away the whole plot point here with the movie, but if you have not seen it, definitely check it out. It's definitely a must watch. Now then, I will be playing a video in this video for you. I claim no copyright for it, but I also will leave a link to the channel. This is a fellow targeted individual's channel. Not sure what her current situation is on this whole endeavor, but I'm pretty certain it's no different than our own. And these are 3 movies that reflect personal sentiments of what it feels like to being a targeted individual. As you see, federal law, let me pause it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, warning, federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyright motion pictures or tapes or video. Discretion is circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called for fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under Section 17 of USC 107. Remember that. I don't want this to be too loud because that last video didn't come out right.
How long has it been now since you lost your son?
It's been 14 months.
Is it possible you create some of these memories?
No. Why would I?
Telly, you never had a son.
Why are you doing this? Who could erase every memory? Who could do that? Please tell me.
I can't. They are listening.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Exhibit C, the living room cam. The camera that ultimately captured the tragedy of the so-called hunting project. What ended up happening after the camera was turned off?
And there he goes. Okay, let's do this. The theory, with the proper execution, it is possible to drive an unsuspecting person into believing that they are truly being haunted. The subject, Harold Graney, the creepy psycho hermit that lives across the street.
We route all of this together into
Mission Control. We're gonna be so famous after this. And wakey, wakey. Knock, knock. Wait, where is he going? Whoa, whoa.
Got a noise complaint? You mind if I come in?
Yeah, I do.
no matter what we do to this guy, he never does anything about it.
We're convinced that our haunts in Granny's basement are somehow related.
Do you actually think that he's a murderer?
Get out of here. Shut up! Keep that on a leash. I'm gonna cut him in 4 pieces and send him home in his can.
There's something going on in that basement.
No way, dude.
If you don't record this, I'm gonna come back here and kill you myself.
Can you hear me?
Run. Is he looking at us? He knows!
Be careful how far we push this guy.
This is sick! We're not going in the basement. You're obsessed!
I'm sorry. I just gotta pause it here because there's something I need to just say. People are curiosity is like a drug, okay? Curiosity has become a drug. People get obsessed with it, and once they get a dose of that, they continue on with it. And the reality of this is that it's not the person who's the target individual that's the problem. It's the gang stalkers. They come up with many different methods, and well, if they can't come up with something, then they're gonna basically, well, in this case with these weapons, and yes, they can force you to do something if you're not aware of that. That's what the main problem is with the C19 and the nanotech and the 5. It's not so much as the 5G. It's the non-iodized radiation itself. That's the problem. 5G is just the way to boost its levels, basically. So again, the problem partly is 5G, but the main problem is non-iodized radiation. This stuff is coming from everywhere. It's not healthy. It's not healthy for human exposure at all. Even just me holding this phone is unhealthy. Let me check out the time. It's like 5 minutes. I got plenty of time. Okay, let me finish this up. But I want people to understand this, because some of you who are not target individuals may have seen this. You may have had someone come to you to decide, oh, well, like this person's trouble. This person did this person did that. You got to understand that's their way of reeling you in so that they can basically get away with the stuff that they're doing. Whatever crime a TI may or may have not commit, trust me, the crimes that these individuals, these stalkers do are way, way worse than anything that any targeted individual would have been responsible or may not be responsible of doing. Trust me, it's 10 times worse. This goes as far as human experimentation, human trafficking, literally driving an individual towards suicide, towards death, even going as far as that maybe trying to kill the target individual themselves and make it look like an accident. I'm not joking when I say that these organizations that are doing this, they are out for blood, okay? I'm not trying to scare nobody. I'm just basically giving you the facts and the truth for what it is. You can take it how you want, but I'm telling you, the more research you do, the more you'll start to see that there is a lot of people who are targeted individuals out there. It's not just in the US. It's not just in the UK. It's not just in Australia. It's not just in France. It's everywhere. It's all around the globe. There's no way in the heck that there would be a whole bunch of people who would have to just be classed off as well, that they're just schizophrenic or crazy. No, it's not that they're crazy. It's that the environment is crazy because we have these individuals out there who are being hired to do these dastardly deeds. And they, of course, they want to continue to do what they want to do, man. It's because of them and the bastards who hired them is that why we have so much crime in the streets. If you don't believe me, look at the jump rate of how much crime had actually kicked off between both the 80s and late 90s all the way to the 21st century. All the way going back to when what I'm getting at is all the way before the vape trails even were out there. That's what I'm saying. Go back, and that could be going all the way back to the 60s. That could be. I'm not sure. But anyway, let me go ahead and let this finish up.
It's just a prank. Experiment.
Your life slips away from you, you know? Changing your phone number and your email becomes normal. Taking out a restraining order, normal. Relocating to another city, normal.
But you still see your stalker everywhere?
Rationally, I know this is my imagination, but I'm alone in a strange city and I never feel safe.
Here's the deal. The main problem with this when it comes to proving the situation for our target individual, and sorry for pausing it again, but the main issue here is that you guys can't see what's happening from our point of view. But I tell you this much, the whole scenario would change if you can see what's going on from our point of view, from the time we leave, from the time we come back, to the obvious changes of the environment that were not done by us. You see, it's a whole nother ball game when that happens. It's a whole nother scenario when you actually see it from that point of view, but they don't want you to see it from that point of view. If you're not aware, there are glasses that'll let you do this. I highly recommend you be careful when you use these, though. But it makes it so obvious. But at the same time, here's the other kicker for this. First off, people would have to know what your YouTube channel is in order to find it, right? People would actually have to give out information, to share information so that other people would find it. The trolls and the perps, if you go onto their channels and you click on them, you'll notice that they have absolutely no content on their channels at all and very few subscribers. Those few subscribers are actually other handlers and other stalkers. They're not going to want to put anything up because, well, it's going to see where its source came. If they upload anything, if they post anything, it's going to see where its source was uploaded from and where it may have been brought to. And, well, there you go. So if you're wondering about that now, chances are there even is a few out there who do post content, but it's not going to be nothing important. As we all seen how some of them, how they hire to just randomly just talk crap about random people. And they're going like, oh, well, like this person is just insane. If you've seen the videos that I posted about two people who are basically trolling, you understand. Now, I actually put up an opening comment to this person saying, dude, like you sit there, you're saying all of this stuff about this particular individual who's just asking for help, but how am I supposed to take what you're saying as credibility when you won't even show your face? The guy never shows us his face. Does that not come off as suspicious? Because I think it does. And for all fellow TIs out there, I always say this all the time. Look, and when you show your face, when you let your location be known, understand the perps know where you're at. They know your phone number. They know every damn thing about you. Okay? They know this shit. But it's when you come forward and let TIs know about who you are, where you're from, and where you're at, then you have witnesses to what's going on. We are witnesses to your targeting. So please, definitely do that because it's in your best benefit to do it. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what you got because I understand it doesn't matter what kind of bank account you come up with. The Illuminati actually fucking is literally has its hands deep in the banks, okay? So they're gonna know. The only problem is they don't want to give you credible evidence with the fucking with that to where, well, you won't be able to, you could actually get them to back off of what they're doing. They don't want that because then, well, you run the possibility of getting some shit investigated. More and more people get exposed, so they can't, they lose leeway from the shit that they were doing before. But also, don't fall for the bait and switch. Don't fall for the bait and switch where they'll do something really obvious, and then they'll keep the momentum of that shit up, and then they'll do it like 1 or 2 times or 3 times, and then as soon as you get ready to make a complaint and you don't have it documented, well, you're screwed. No, when they do that shit, just document it, and they're gonna let them do it for about like a good 5 to 6 times. Then go complain about it, show your evidence, and you get to go. If it's through a phone call, well, guess what? Did you know your screen recorder can record over a phone call? Yes, it can. You can have that thing going so you show what number you called, you show exactly what the time and date that it was when you called as you're calling. It's already recording that, so you're good to go. Anyway, let me finish this up because I got to get ready for work soon.
There's some more forms you need to fill out. It's just routine.
I finished my homework.
Sawyer Valentini, please follow me.
Look, I don't have a lot of time. I should be back at work, so what am I doing in here?
Take off your clothes down to your underwear.
I'm not sure what's happening here. The door's locked.
It would be better for everyone, especially yourself, if you just do as I ask.
There's been some kind of mistake.
By signing this, you've consented to voluntary commitment.
I am being held here against my will.
Do you know how many calls the cops get like that every week?
Those are from crazy people. This man, he's followed me all the way here from Boston.
I'm calling the cops. I want him arrested.
My stalker is here.
We did a thorough background check.
You should be protecting me. Mom, no one believes me.
I'm getting you out.
There's nothing we can do unless you have proof that a crime's been committed.
I must be insane. I must be insane.
My mom didn't pick up last night. Hello?
I must be insane.
What happened to her? A dead body was discovered.
I must be insane. I must be insane. I must be insane.
I'm not crazy! He's here.
Or maybe it's all in my head.
For people who are not aware, oh no, I'm not. No. Fuck that. No, I'm not watching that. For people who are not aware, they have done this for years. Okay, they've done this because it was for experimentation, illegal experimentation on humans. Throughout the whole country, not just here, many other countries as well. If you want to know another movie that you can watch related to the situation, involving even deeper with the corruption, watch the ending of the X-Files. People got turned off from that because of what they basically talked about. If you've seen the video I posted of Zacchaeus is talking about his background story and all that stuff, you would understand where he gets it from. That he explains it, so you could just draw back. You'll see an image of like Bruce Lee somewhere on the videos that I uploaded, and that's the video you want to check out if you hadn't seen it already. But yeah, man, this is something. Understand, this could be anybody in your family who you're affiliated with, whether they're your friend, close friend, whatever, can be involved secretly, and you wouldn't know it until, well, you know too much. It's when you become aware that they don't even care about hiding themselves anymore. And then you start to actually see who the real enemy is. Because, well, the cover's been blown. They could act like average citizens and you wouldn't even know the destructiveness that's behind their true persona. You wouldn't know. You would not know. They come off acting all innocent, as if what they're doing is for the greater good. Bullshit. Complete bullshit on all of it, okay? They have no problem manipulating their kids to doing things that's gonna probably get them killed, hurt, or who knows what. I'm not condoning violence when I say this. I'm just stating the facts for what it is. Because when you see this and you see how, if you are not aware of the target individual known as Gavin Long, back when he was alive, he lived out here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. They did the same shit to him. And if you would really look into this, you would see that they had the people, they went as far as having the people on the news just calling him a monster. The only thing he did was wanted this shit to stop. They wouldn't stop. What did he do? He went out and started taking out cops. That's what he did. Because he knew that the cops were the Masons were in on this shit, but he didn't knew that there were more and more people behind that, man. Or at least I don't know if he did know. I'm going to leave a link to his channel as well so you can check it out. But understand the same shit that they've been doing to everybody else is what they did to him, and that's what it drove them to do. So when they are putting their kids up to this shit, that's the danger that they're exposing themselves to because they are constantly fucking with people to drive them to do shit like that. That's exactly what's happening. So when you see these gang stalkers on our videos when we are reporting what they're doing, understand they have absolutely no care in the world for their own kids' safety. They don't. Not even for them to be doing this because they could get gunned down any day. Again, I'm not condoning violence. I'm only stating the facts for what it is. Nothing more, nothing less. They know this to be true, but like they are just so fixated in this mindset to where they don't care. And that's why the message that I've been promoting of how the whole message, quote unquote, and how they want you to fit in, that's why I've been pushing that message as constantly as I can, because understand, they want to take away your true self to in place a self that's more compliant to their bullshit. That's more subservient. That's more willingly to just be absorbed, man. That's what it is. If I had long since lost my true self, I don't know what the fuck would happen. I probably would be no different. But I didn't allow it to happen. That's what I'm saying. I think fucking Skynet actually is real, man. Skynet is real. Seriously. With all of this happening, with them trying to get you literally every time when I hear a person saying, oh, like you haven't had an ID in such and such a long time, well, you were off the grid. You were off the grid. I'm like, the fuck? And then when I watched the movie called The Grid, I'm like, oh, hell no. Isn't it? I mean, think about it. If you watch the movie The Grid, you'll see what I'm getting at when they say, oh, well, you were off the grid. You'll see what I'm getting at. And if you don't know, basically the grid is actually showing the results of people under the influence of mind control through technology. That's what the movie was showing. But man, I tell you, this whole thing is just crazy, man. But I'm not going to allow myself to be done in by these perps. It's even worse though because like when they invade your mind, man, that's another person's mindset invading into it. That's why I made that playlist when I did, so people will be able to protect themselves, because like they will bombard you with some really twisted shit. Crazy. I don't know where this country's going to be headed in the next couple of years, but I still don't believe that this shit is going to pass, man. There's too many obvious lies. There's too many obvious lies, and it's like they're just basically, this is how it's going. They're just doing shit, right? Regardless. But at the same time that they're just doing shit, they're doing it not fastly but slowly to see how much shit they can get away with doing. Why has nobody kicked their asses yet? That's what I want to know. It's insane, man. But you need to, the main message here is that this is the end result of what's happening because people kept taking that dirty money that was dipped in blood. This is the end result. When you take that money that they're offering you, it's a ruse. They're giving you something now, but they're going to take something from you much greater later on. That's what this shit is. You're selling away your freedom when you take that fucking money. This whole thing about what was that? That stimulus check shit. Did you know they took that money out of the freaking Treasury Department? Did you know that's what they did? They emptied out the Treasury. So with them doing that, you gotta understand. Fuck that $2,000 shit. Fuck that. Did you know that when stuff is backfiring down like this, did you know that you're supposed to be receiving no less than 200 grand when the whole fucking thing stops? So where the fuck is all that money? I tell you what is happening. They're splitting it off. People are taking that shit for themselves and they're just giving you chump change, lying to you in your face. You don't believe me? I'm gonna leave I'll even link a video to a TI who's actually explaining the situation, man. I don't know if he goes into too much greater detail, but man, dude, like that, they are highway robbing people now. They really are. People supposed to be getting way more than $2,000. I'll tell you that much. And that's why I'm saying the whole stimulus shit is a scam. It's a fucking scam. And people are just oblivious to it. You can't live off of $2,000 with the situation as it is, man. You can't. People have families. People have kids. I may be a single person. I mean, I'll be fine. But like, what about all the people who have fucking kids, man? What about the people who have families out there? Insane. And then they want to try to get them going back to school after they installed the. You notice how they're. I guarantee you, man. Look, if you're a parent listening to this, don't fucking send your kids to school when they reopen that shit. Don't. And I'm pretty certain if you're a TI, you know not to do it with them installing that 5G shit because this is what's gonna happen. They're gonna cut that shit on the minute those kids go back to school. Okay? They're gonna cut that on, and then as soon as that shit happens, oh well, now the kids are sick. Oh, so they gotta send them to the ships. They already are trying to send the healthy elderly people to the ships, man. And it's fucked up, is what it is. It is fucked up. Them people work their asses off to fucking earn their fucking retirement, and this is the bullshit they get? Are you fucking kidding me? And I'm sorry for my swearing, but anybody else should be pissed off from that. To literally sit there and work from 9 to 5 to do that. And this is why it's false promises. This is why it's all BS, because they don't. Because in the end, when you work hard, they're not gonna fucking give you your shit, man. That's why I said even the